Hi guys! So I wanted to talk about the new trailer that was just dropped called Nina, and that is starring Zoe Saldana. There's a lot of controversy about this movie and the casting of this film. Zoe was cast a few years ago to play this role, and even before anything had been published that showed what she looked like in the film or any clips or pictures or images, people were up in arms about her performing this role. And I think it's understandably so. The worst thing that can happen to a movie, I think, is it being miscast. And unfortunately, this movie was miscast. I'm a person who thinks that an actor doesn't necessarily have to look like the person that they're portraying in a movie. But what they do is they try to get in touch with the essence of who that person is and what that person represents. And there's many people who've played people that they don't look like. Idris Elba didn't look like Mandela. Will Smith didn't look like Dr. Amalu. There's a wide list. But in Nina Simone's story, what she looks like informs her character. It is such a huge part of how to tell that story. And I do think that the people who created this movie knew that, because if they didn't know that, they wouldn't have had to put a prosthetic nose on Zoe Saldana. They wouldn't have even attempted to darken her skin, which many other people have played either lighter or darker skinned people and they didn't change their skin color. For example, Jeffrey Wright played Martin Luther King. He didn't darken his skin to play Martin Luther King. Same with Idris Elba. He's a darker skinned man who played a lighter skinned man, Mandela, and did not lighten his skin. He wore makeup to make himself look older, but not to lighten his skin. So I think there is something to be said for basically the blackface that Zoe is putting on to portray a dark-skinned woman who was proud of being a dark-skinned woman, who the obstacles she faced in her life were specifically because of her facial features and her looks. So I think that is the biggest controversy, is that there were so many people who could have been cast in this role and weren't. When you're watching a movie, you have to suspend your disbelief in some way. And usually you want to cast someone where you can suspend your disbelief and say, okay, this person is bringing something to the table where I can believe that this is this person. And you don't get that in any way, shape, or form in the trailer. And because unfortunately she's wearing blackface and makeup that is just horribly put on, it's distracting, and you can't, your mind is not telling you that, oh, this is a person that she's playing. You're seeing Zoe Saldana in horrible makeup, and you're not seeing Nina Simone. And this movie had a lot of things that were not going for it from the beginning. I don't think that a movie has to be completely accurate to a person's story, especially if it's an artistic interpretation. We get that, that's fine. But if you're already putting someone who the family of the person didn't want, people have lamented against the casting of it, and then on top of that, you're not even having accuracy of the story on your side, like, it's just too many things that are just not going for this movie. And especially because a really good documentary has already come out about Nina Simone on Netflix. What Happened, Miss Simone has come out, and people have seen that and seen her story, and this movie is just, it's not, you can just tell that it's not the business. I think that in the end the movie will come out, because it obviously is coming out if they've had a trailer for it. It probably won't make a lot of money, probably will not have the best reviews if I can make predictions on this, and hopefully it will prompt someone else to make another movie that probably is a little bit more true to a story or just a better interpretation. I think a good example of that is the Steve Jobs movie with Ashton Kutcher that was basically lampooned by critics and others. And now we have the Michael Fassbender version of Steve Jobs, which is a little better and a better story and better made. So yeah. It's not the end of the world for Zoe either. She'll probably just go do Guardians of the Galaxy 2 and be fine. Yeah, but this was a mistake.